Hello everyone and welcome back to another session of Elden Ring PvP and another weapon showcase. Today we are taking a look at Rivers of Blood. This is a weapon that is dropped by Okina near the Church of Repose on the mountaintops of the Giants. I'll have an image on screen showing the location. This is a weapon that we are all quite familiar with by this point in time. It is one of the weapons that was considered the most powerful in the game for quite a while, and even though it has been nerfed, it is still an extremely powerful and dangerous weapon. So let's go ahead and start off with the basics. This weapon requires 12 strength, 18 dexterity, and 20 arcane to wield, and it weighs 6.5 units. The skill of the weapon is Corpse Piler, and you are stuck with it because this is a somber weapon. At plus 10, it will have a physical base damage of 186, a fire base damage of 186, and it will deal 50 bleed per hit as its base. It will have an E scaling in strength, a B scaling in dexterity, and a D scaling in arcane. And in spite of that D scaling in arcane, this weapon will actually get quite a lot of damage from leveling up that stat because of a couple of things, but the big thing here is the bleed damage. It is a base bleed of 50. So, of course, the more you upgrade your arcane, the higher that will go. And this is a very, very powerful weapon and is very easy to bleed people with. Now, as far as the pros of this weapon, it's a katana, so we kind of know how those things work at this point. They have a good moveset. The running R2s are a thrust, and that's phenomenal. This weapon also is going to benefit from all of those things, a little less so with the running R2 thrust because it won't work as well with the Spear Talisman, but at the end of the day, it's still a very reliable weapon with a great moveset. Aside from that, this weapon was considered the most powerful weapon in the game for a while because of the skill. Corpse Piler hits multiple times, and you can repeat the input. It will do a total of 6 swings total, 2 swings, 3 swings, and then a single final slash downwards. We all know what that looks like. We've all seen it used because that's the attack that would be spammed. And with it, it did get a nerf, so it isn't as useful, it's not as powerful, but even still, it's an extremely dangerous attack for this weapon to have. It is able to roll catch your opponent very easily, and it will deal a good amount of damage to them. Realistically, I don't think that the nerf on this weapon was sufficient to take it out of the super high tier that it was. But at the end of the day, it makes it less of a brain dead, press L2 to win sort of thing. So it was definitely necessary. It's still an extremely powerful weapon. It's really easy to use, and the nerf did not change that. So keep that in mind. Now, the big con of the weapon, there's really only one that's hugely significant, and that's just that it's not as powerful as it was before the nerf. It's still an extremely powerful weapon. It's still very dangerous, but it's just not as dangerous as it used to be, and that's the big downside to this thing. And if the only real huge downside to a weapon is that it received a nerf and it's slightly worse because of it, and yet it's still extremely powerful, well, it's still a very good weapon, so take it for what it is. Really, if I want to be super pedantic about it, the only other con that I can come up with is that it is split damage with fire, and that will be a bad thing because fire damage is objectively the worst damage type in the game. Because of how common water is and how frequently it rains, you do get a slight nerf to your damage because of that. But as that last fight showed, it's honestly kind of negligible once you get to a certain point with your damage output, and this weapon is at that point. So realistically, it's a great weapon, it's a very fun and easy weapon to use, and if you use it smart instead of just spamming Corpse Piler constantly, then you'll throw your opponents off and you can do some good work with this thing. It is a really nice weapon, and, well, if it got nerfed again, I wouldn't be shocked, just to be honest. So, that's all I've got. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Again, apologies for the delay in videos. Just between the health issues and trying to get into the right headspace to actually be motivated to do anything, it's been tough this past month, give or take. So I do apologize. I will definitely be trying a bit harder to pick up the pace with these things, but I hope you guys understand. Being hit with the news that I have major health issues that I've been terrified of my whole life has kind of been a stumbling block for me. So I appreciate your patience with all of these things and your patience with me. So thank you all for that. Thank you all for stopping by, and I will see you all next time.